Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this Madden 22 defensive tips video breakdown, I want to show you manual left end speed pass rush. And what this one's about is getting pressure with the left end manually and using the speed pass rush to get around the right tackle and then get to the quarterback quickly. And I want to go ahead and show you how to do this. Now, keep in mind, this is a continuing series of the quarter normal formation that I started off just a few days ago, where I was showing you how to get pressure from the right end manually. So it's kind of the same idea, or at least the same concept, except we're going to add one more element, and that's the speed pass rush. So let's go ahead and get right on into it, and I'll show you how this works. And it's pretty simple to do, and I think you guys will like this particular tip that I'm about to show from this particular video breakdown that I'm doing here. So let's go ahead and get into it. The formation obviously is the quarter normal. The playbook that we're using this from is the Chiefs. So just keep that in mind. The play that we're going to run this from, as you're following along, I would suggest go ahead and use the cover 4 drop, at least initially, because that's the one that works the best, although you can use other plays. And in another video breakdown, we'll talk about that and show you a couple other plays, or at least a couple more things you can do from other plays to kind of make this work. All right, as far as on the offensive side of the ball, we're going to run this from the gun normal Y off flex. It's the double slants. Obviously, this is out of the Bills playbook. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. The only thing you really need to do is go ahead and shift the defense down or pinch the defense, which is what I'm doing right there. Make sure you're in control of this guy right here, which happens to be the left end right there. Obviously, the faster the left end, the better chance you got of getting around the right tackle. That's preferably, I think Clark's are right around an 80, 82 speed, something like that. The faster, the better. One of the other things I would suggest as you look at this, I've got this Jones over here. He is an X factor. A lot of times I prefer not to control the X factors when I do this type of stuff, because I want to use his ability to get around the left tackle and allow the computer to control him. So that's really up to you. If you want to use an X factor, that's fine. I just prefer not to when I do this. All right. With that said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and slide him in one notch to the left. Now you'll notice when I did that, he more or less lines up just to the outside, or shaded to the outside of the right guard. As you look at your screen right there, you'll notice that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and put him in a hard flat, basically the same thing that I showed with the right end in the other video breakdown I did. And then what I want to do for me is I'm going to hold down, for this particular one, I'm just going to hold down the right trigger. I know in the other one I showed you hold down the left and the right triggers, but for this one you just want to hold down the right trigger when you do this. And then we're just going to go ahead and run this. Now, on occasion, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get hooked. I'm going to get hooked. Sometimes the right tackle will get me and I won't get in. If that happens, I'm just going to release him. Now, if I get around him, then I can do some other stuff as far as the speed pass rush. But let's go ahead and just run this without doing the speed pass rush. I just want to show you how to get around him, at least initially, as far as the right tackle. So let's just go ahead and run this. And then you're just going to come around him. I got kind of a wider angle than I wanted to, but I end up still getting to the quarterback. And I still got kind of that same thing I talked about earlier in the other video breakdown as far as with this. So let's go ahead and run this one more time. And then you're just going to come around him, and then you're going to go right after the quarterback and get to him. All right. Now, I want to add the speed pass rush ability, or basically want to go ahead and get it to work. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's the same thing. You want to go ahead and move inside one notch, just like I showed you. Go ahead and pinch or shift the defensive line down, such as what I'm doing there. And then next thing you want to do is, this is what's going to happen with this. And I'm going to kind of try to walk you guys through it as we run through this. When this play goes, when it snaps, what's going to happen is I'm going to be in control of him. Now keep in mind, I am still holding down that right trigger. All right. When he gets to the outside here, then I'm going to come around and I'm going to come up in this area here. Once I get engaged, just after I get engaged, or right about the time I'm getting engaged, or sort of in that area, I'm going to be starting to tap down on that A button. Right, actually, to be honest with you, it's right after you get engaged and you start to break it, and you see that animation where he starts breaking loose. That's when you want to start tapping down the A button. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to come right after the quarterback, and you're going to see a speed burst where I get to the quarterback quicker. So that's what I want to show you here. Now, like I said, on occasion, I'm going to get caught up and this isn't going to work very well. So just keep that in mind. If it does happen, just release them, allow them drop back into pass coverage, and just continue on. You're still going to have, you're going to have good pass coverage. So it's still going to make it kind of difficult. Maybe the X factor, and this is the reason why I don't like to control the X factor, because maybe that X factor defensive end can still get pressure on the quarterback for me. All right, so let's go ahead and run this, and we'll just see what happens here, and I'll walk you guys through it. Now, right there, you probably just saw it, and if you would have noticed there, I start hitting that A button. I'm tapping on that A button right as I'm going around. Let's go in here into the instant replay, and then you're going to see what I'm talking about. So right there, I'm still holding down that right trigger. Right there, I'm holding down the right trigger. It's right there. Now I'm tapping down that A button. And when I'm tapping down that A button, you're going to see a speed burst. Right here, I'm tapping down that A button in this area here. Right there, I'm starting to tap down it. And then I'm going to get an instant speed right towards the quarterback. And I'm going to get to him really quick, such as what you just saw on your screen there. So I want to do this one more time just to walk you guys through. Now, you know, I've been doing the shift with the RB and the R1 button. You don't have to do it that way. You can also just go ahead and shift the D line down here like this, like I'm doing here. The only major difference there is that these outside defensive backs out here, they don't come closer to the line of scrimmage. That's the main difference between doing that. I just want to point that out to you. For this one, I'll just go ahead and do it this way. Same idea. I got him in the hard flat, moved him in one notch. Again, I'm holding down the right trigger. And then I'm coming around now, I'm hitting the speed burst button, and I'm going right after the quarterback. That's really it, guys, as far as getting the pressure and using the speed burst button with the left end. That's how you do it with the A button. You kind of holding down the speed, which is literally the right trigger is the speed burst. But by adding that A button, I don't know what it does. It just triggers something else where you get some kind of like turbo boost, and you're able to get to the quarterback a lot quicker. And so that's really what I wanted to show you. I'm going to only add one little thing to this real quick, and then I'll get out of this one. One of the things you can do if you wanted to, this guy right here, which is the nose tackle, you can put him in QB spy if you so choose. Now, keep in mind, nose tackle is going to be a lot slower than most quarterbacks. But what you could do is you could go ahead and say you want to have him drop back in a hook curl such as there. And then maybe you put this guy, I kind of screwed that up. Let's put him back in the hook curl to the left there. And then you put this guy right here. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in so you can see it. You put this linebacker, maybe you put him into QB spy because he's going to be a little bit faster than the nose tackle. So what you're going to ultimately have here as you look at it, we're just going to have a two-man pass rush essentially as you look at it. All right, so let's go ahead and do the setup here. We're going to go ahead and slide him in one notch and go ahead and put the hard flat on him with him. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're holding down that trigger. And then once we get around him, we come after him, we start hitting that A button. And then we get pressure on the quarterback. Now, the cool thing about this setup is you get a two-man pass rush. You get your X factor on one side. You get the guy you're in control with a speed pass rush. And then as you look at it, you get another defender in QB spy. This guy's in QB spy, so he can take away the quarterback from taking off, especially if he's a faster linebacker. And then on top of that, you get another defender, in this case the nose tackle, dropping back in the hook zone. So you get a two-man pass rush, and then you get 9 guys that are dropping back in pass coverage of some sort. That's going to take away a lot as far as what your opponent can do here. Now, there's going to be some, at least against this particular play here, you might find somebody open eventually, but it's nice because you're going to be able to get pressure on the quarterback. Now, in another video breakdown, I'm going to show you how you can add on to this with another defense from this particular formation where you can get pressure from both sides of the ball pretty much consistently. Also, I want to show you guys something down the road. I'm going to show you guys how to counter this because if I'm going to show something that's on the shady side of things, then I also need to show you guys the counter to it. And there's a couple different counters you can do as well that'll take this away. If you were to run into it, maybe you're playing in an online franchise league and someone's doing this to you, I want to show you how to counter it. That way you know how to do it as well. So at any rate, guys, this is it for the video breakdown. Appreciate you guys watching it. Hopefully, guys, if you guys liked it, please go ahead and go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and also like the like button. If you guys got a comment, whether it be positive or negative, go ahead and do it. I'm just trying to go ahead and break down some different stuff to you guys. I try to stick to the X's and O's. Every once in a while, I'll show you something that's a little on the grayer side of things, but this is certainly one of them. But I know some of you guys want to see this type of stuff, so I got to make sure I show it as well. So again, guys, appreciate it. This is what we call manual left end speed pass rush out of the quarter normal.